Today on Eagle Nation News, Black History Month is coming to a close, so Sarah Cronin recaps the legacy left behind by Booker T. Washington.
Kashada Kama covers the story of one Prosper High School athlete. How successful has the student been in pole vaulting?
And finally, some of you may have filled out a form sent out by the librarians. Casey Boston has the results of what you want to see improved in the library.
All this and more today
on Eagle Nation News. Good afternoon, Eagle Nation. Today is Wednesday, February 26th. I'm Christina Folsom.
And I'm Jordan Ramsey.
Disney announced that Bob Iger is no longer in the position of Disney CEO. Effective immediately, he will be the executive chairman through 2021. He said that he'd rather work on the creative side of Disney now that projects such as Disney Plus are behind him. According to Disney, their shares fell 2.5% after hours. Assuming the role of CEO is former executive chairman Bob Chapek.
17-year-old Tania Nicole Johnson was babysitting 3-month-old Ashton Smith in Dallas on February 16th when she called the child's parents to report that he was ill. Smith's great-uncle then took him to the hospital after noticing that Smith was breathing irregularly and that his arms were stiff. Doctors later concluded that Smith had a traumatic brain injury and skull fracture that they believe was caused by blunt force trauma. Ashton Smith was pronounced dead on the 19th, and Johnson has since been charged with capital murder.
Now we send it over to Maya Peterson with your Game Time Sports Update with a recap of last night's basketball playoff game.
Basketball season has come and gone as our Eagles played their last game last night against Saxe. This game was well anticipated as Saxe has never won a playoff game, and our Eagles had one of the best seasons they've had in a long time. From the first to the fourth quarter, both sides fought to the end. Big defensive plays will come from our very own Tyler Wyndon and Austin Atkinson, while Grant Shaw and Ammon Allen were a force to be reckoned with every time they touched the ball. As I mentioned before, this game was a hard 4 quarters. Coming to the end of the fourth, our Eagles were up 67-66 when the ref called for a foul that would put Saxe on the line, making the first and missing the second, and forcing another quarter. Overtime would be filled with great defensive plays and even better offensive plays. Austin Atkinson holding down the paint and Ammon helping push the Eagles in a 5-0 run to gain the lead back. However, this would not be enough as our Eagles were in foul trouble with Mondo and Neal fouling out and Saxe taking over, winning 77-76. Although this was our seniors' last game of their high school career, they went out with a bang, finishing the season 27-7 overall, 11-3 in districts, second place in district, and ranked at 25 within the state of Texas. Congrats to all of our seniors and good luck on your next step of your journey. That's all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
American orator, writer, and educator Booker T. Washington was a dominant leader in the African American community.
His legacy has contributed to the civil rights effort in countless ways. Sarah Cronin has the story.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream.
Booker T. Washington was an educator, author, orator, and advisor to multiple presidents who lived from 1815 to 1915. Born into slavery, education was a big deal to him. However, he was only allowed to go to school after working each morning. In his later years, Washington was a co-founder and principal for a new African American school, Tuskegee University in Alabama. In 1901, President Theodore Roosevelt invited Washington to the White House, making him the first African American to be honored with being on a postage stamp. He was also often asked for political advice from Theodore Roosevelt and William Howard Taft in economics and self-help. However, in 1913, Washington lost much of his influence, but he still remained the head of Tuskegee until his death in 1915 at the age of 59.
We hold these truths to to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream.
When we return, Cameron Silva is in the studio to discuss the sale of one Dallas athlete's mansion.
Stay tuned.
It's blueberry, raspberry, your favorite. Here's your favorite blueberry fruit.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry, it's blueberry. I would never get a menthol. I love you. Oh, first puff, so sweet.
Now we kick it over to Cameron Silva with your Talent Talk update, brought to you by Corbridge Orthodontics.
Sanders' 29,000 square foot mansion is back on the market. The luxurious home was listed at $21 million back in 2014, but was only sold for $13. Eventually, the buyers divided the land to make room for a new shopping center, or what's now known as the Kroger off of Preston. Although it was built over 20 years ago, the home comes with an indoor pool and outdoor bowling alley, movie theater, football field, and a full-size basketball court, complete with the courtside barbershop. The 9-bedroom residence also includes a 3,000 square foot walk-in closet, when the price has dropped tremendously since it was first listed, currently sitting at $5.75 million. That's all the time I have for you guys today, and be sure to check out our Twitter at Eagle Nation News for more updates, and be sure to check out our website at eaglenation.net to watch more content like this. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Cameron. Pole vaulting has always been something I have viewed in awe. The way that they're able to launch themselves up like that is so impressive to me, and I know something I'm curious about is just how they do it. Kashida Kama sat down with Gavin Hickey, who not only answers my question, but talks about how it's built his confidence.
Dedication and determination is Gavin Hickey's motto whenever taking his dream to new heights. Gavin Hickey, a sophomore at PHS, started a passion for pole vaulting in 7th grade after already being in another track event of high jump.
I got into pole vaulting in 7th grade. I wasn't very good at high jump, and I kept getting 6th and 5th at meets in middle school. And then I got first at my first ever pole vault meet ever, and so that's kind of what kept me in pole vault.
Throughout the years, his confidence has soared, and he's continued to amaze all pole vaulters with his height ranging around 12 feet and 6 inches.
I am way more confident now in my athletic ability when it comes to pole vault now than I used to be, because I used to be scared of heights when I started, and pole vaulting overall just scared me. My hands would start sweating, but honestly, I've been to so many now that it doesn't really affect me anymore.
With his accomplishments from being 9th in the nation and setting a school record, Gavin has also had his downfalls.
I really just got in my head that meet for no reason. It's not a meet I should have been nervous about because it's not even the biggest meet I've been to, but I just did really bad overall and I got dead last.
Gavin went to districts his freshman year and ended up in last place. However, this didn't affect him mentally for the other meets. He has shown out at every single meet and competes at competitions such as Pole Vault Summit and making the Junior Olympics.
It's pretty important to me, pole vault. I think I work hard in it and I think I get the result I deserve. I just be confident in what you can do, have a good mental state, and just go out there and do what you can do.
Through his moments of hardship, he still manages to fix every problem and work harder at the next meet in order to hit 18 feet one day. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Kashida Kama. Prosper.
Springtime is just around the corner. Let's take a look at today's fast forecast with Brenna Gibbons.
Thank you, Christina. The weather has been slightly chilly recently, and it is currently 38 degrees and cloudy with the wind speed at 20 miles per hour, making it feel much colder at 24 degrees. Now, this cold weather will stick around until Saturday when it will be 71 degrees, and Sunday when it will be 74 degrees. Monday and Tuesday, it will continue with warm weather. However, we can expect some rain. With your fast forecast, I'm Brenna Gibbons. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brenna. Now we send it over to Casey Boston to discuss changes to the Prosper Library that will be implemented over the summer.
The library is known as a quiet place to eat lunch, read, or just work on assignments for class. But what may not be as well known is that major changes and additions will be made over summer to be even more beneficial to the students than it already is.
The main thing is we're going to change the space, the design, and the function of it. Kids come in, they read, they study, they may play chess, but it's kind of just a quiet place that kids work. But we want to change that and really make it a place where kids can come in and design things, make things, create things, whether that's on a computer or with hand tools or 3D printers or anything like that. Our main goal is to empower and inspire teachers and students. We want to give students and teachers a space that they can come in and work and really explore their passions and grow in that sense. Our main goal, I think, is to really just prepare students for their future, whatever their future may look like.
Besides changing the setup of the library, Mrs. Hutt and Mrs. Miller will be jumping into a new role.
Previously, the librarians focused more on the actual, the library itself and then the information, whereas the instructional technology coach was focused more on like the tech integration in the classroom. We both work with teachers and collaborate together, but we do have more focused fields. Mrs. Hutt and I are both going to be the same role next year, so instead of her being the librarian and me being an instructional technology coach, we're both going to be a role called Future Ready Designer. And what that's going to do is play into the physical changes that are happening here next year. You might see a couple little changes here and there kind of slowly as the year goes on, but most of the major construction is going to happen over the summer.
If you are a freshman, sophomore, or junior that will be attending Prosper High School next year, be sure to head over to the library's Twitter at PHS Eagle Library to take their survey on what name you think the new space should be called and let them know what additions you are hoping to see in the library this upcoming school year.
Right now, the sky's the limit, and we just need some ideas.
For Eagle Nation News, I'm Casey Boston. Prosper.
That's all the time we have for the show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Jordan Ramsey.
And I'm Christina Folsom. Live long and prosper.